Hey, what's going awesome in life? This is Jackie, your sales architect and influence coach. What if there are really no resistant people in this world? There are no resistant clients. There are only inflexible communicators. Now, because when you're able to adapt and learn how to communicate in different ways to different kinds of people, that's where you'll be able to discover how you could get into that person's mind and connect with them at the unconscious level. Yes, at the unconscious level. So in this upcoming video, I would like to share with you one very powerful secret of tapping into the power of unconscious influence. Learn how to understand how your prospects think differently from you. How do they represent information in their mind? That which we term as their representation systems. Because when you're able to understand how they process information in their minds in their habitual manner, you will be able to better connect with them by speaking their lingo. A representation system in the first place, okay? Representation system comes from what? The word represent. You see, am I right to say that most of us here in this room, how do we interpret information is based on what? How we take in information, right? Through our five what? Senses. And then what we do is, later we what? We represent the information in our mind and give it certain meaning. Now, the thing though is this. Some of us have the tendency to what? Present information more in terms of the what? The pictures stored in our mind. We call this what? Visual. Like, you know, like right now I'm sharing certain things with you, right? The first thing you do is that you try to translate into image. Oh, I can remember this particular picture, this image. Some of you have this preference. Well, some of you are more of what I call an auditory kind of person. That means you prefer to store things, information in what I call sounds. Then there are also a group of you who are more what? Kinesthetic in nature, which is what? Feelings. You stop in feelings. You stop in touch. Then we have what? Okay, this is something new, probably new to some of you. It's called auditory digital. Now, it's not exactly the five senses. Now, you notice, by the way, I also left out two, right? Which is what? Smell and taste. Because we don't often smell and taste information, right? Are you right? Currently, are you like, tasting what Jackie is sharing? A bit weird, right? You only taste the food later as spices. Okay? And you smell the favorite, your chicken and your durians, okay? But we don't usually smell it, so I left that two out. But what is this AD? Okay, AD is what I call auditory digital, which is not part of our five senses, but it's a part of our, it's something that goes beyond the five senses. That's why we use the word digital. Okay, although there's some kind of sounds that are related, right? Digital means what? It's digitized. That means it is like analog. We call it what? Self-talk. You see, some of us here in this room, right, we may not even process information in pictures, sounds, or feelings. Sometimes we do a lot of what? We digitize everything. And then we what? We like do a lot of self-talking. How many of you ever, you talk to someone, and then, as you're talking to this someone, you notice that this guy is moving the mouth a bit. Have you ever seen that before? You're talking to someone moving, and now this is what we call, right, AD. This person entering into what I call communication mode. Now, why is it important to know these things here? Now, you see, the thing is this, if you want, this is a trick. This is what I learned a few years ago. I realized that if every one of us have a if everyone have a preference here, right, some of us prefer to store information in pictures, some in sounds, some in feelings, some in analog. Do you think the words that I use in my conversation, in my presentation, can actually make a difference? If I purposefully select the kind of words that will appeal to their need more. So for example, if you're addressing a group of people which are primarily what? Visual oriented. For example, like architects. They're more visual oriented, right? Artists, visual oriented. Now, what do you think? You want to use words like, hey, how does it sound to you, man? How does it feel? How does it feel? Do you think it's going to work? Appeal to what? No, right? But the moment you say, can you imagine this? Can you see it? Did you spot it? Take a look at this. Can I reveal this to you? Do you realize that, by the way, if you have been paying attention to the words I use, right, from this morning up to now, I've been using all these four different lingo. And it takes some time to master it, because most of us are so used to the one that we like it a lot, right? Then we assume that, hey, that is the one that everyone likes. You know, I taught this technique, right? This very simple technique to to someone who was selling this car kind of parts one. And the moment he realized that, because he was actually a very auditory person, that means guess what? Usually when he talked to his clients, right, what kind of lingo comes out from him? Hey, how does it sound to you? Does it, I don't know, what else can you say? Say, by the way, the word say also, right? What do you say about this? And does it strike a chord with you? So he primarily used all these words. So guess what was happening was that he was actually losing a lot of potential customers who belong to these other three categories. But the moment he learned this technique here, he trained himself to use all these four predicates effectively. And guess what? His sales start to increase. You can use this in sales. Okay, so let's take a look. Right, you help me with this. Okay, so let's say visual. What are some words? Look. You can see. You can even say what? You illuminate. Let me visualize. Okay, and maybe you can even say what? Observe. Yeah, what do you observe about this? Many words, right? So you really want to go back. Okay, we don't have time, unfortunately, to do this right now, but you can go back, right? Because most of us are not used to all this language, right? We always use words like, see, look, that's all. So to help you along the way, right, what you might want to do is you set up a list of words that you can use in your vocabulary first. Every day you go and practice. See, look, observe. Then after you go into auditory.